Hello everybody, the Lawn Gnome is here.
Who?
So today we're going to talk about a movie that I had no idea was coming to theaters in 2019. And if I would have known about this last year, it would have been in my top 10 most anticipated films of this year. And that, of course, is the Danny Boyle-directed film Yesterday, starring Himesh Patel, Lily James, Ed Sheeran, and Kate McKinnon. So, picture a guy who's a struggling musician, and all of a sudden, through chance, there's a blackout, and because of the fact that this blackout occurs, he gets hit by a bus and gets knocked unconscious. But while he's unconscious and the power comes back on, something strange happens. And the thing that happens is the fact that he is the only person that remembers the music of the greatest band in all of music history, and that, of course, is John, Paul, George, and Ringo, the Beatles. Nobody knows who they are. He's the only one that seems to remember who these guys are, who wrote these songs, and all of these songs, and he feels that he is now on a mission to bring this music to the masses because he feels that a world without the Beatles is just not a good world to live in at all. And he also encounters the trials and tribulations of the music industry, the fact that the industry believes that the money can be made, he can become the most powerful person in the world of entertainment, but because of the fact that he feels that this is not his purpose, he just wants people to know that this music is out there and that this music exists, because without it, it's just not a great place. It's not about the money, it's not about the fame and fortune, it's all about the Beatles' music. So, I saw the trailer for this movie, and the minute I saw that that was the premise of the movie, I was excited. I am a big Beatles fan, probably one of the biggest Beatles fans that you will ever meet, so much a Beatles fan that I don't even need to listen to their music anymore because I sing their songs 24/7, even when I'm sleeping. And also hearing that Danny Boyle was the director of this film, who is someone who is responsible for some of the greatest films, in my opinion, of all time. I love Trainspotting, I love Slumdog Millionaire. I had a feeling that this was going to be one of the better films of 2019. And I have to say that this is one of the most heartfelt, entertaining, comedic, charming films that I have seen this year. Thank God Yesterday was made. I adored the cast in this movie. I thought that Himesh Patel was wonderful. He was so lovable, so charming. The fact that they made the Beatles music to the pitches where he could actually sing them and play them. I heard the Beatles music in such a different way, and I have heard the Beatles music in such a different way, like the Cirque du Soleil Love soundtrack, or the Across the Universe soundtrack, or even the episode of the Powerpuff Girls that spoofs the Beatles. They turned this music once again into something fresh and new that everybody can enjoy. Lily James, I have been touting her praises ever since I saw her in Cinderella. When I saw her in Edgar Wright's Baby Driver, my loving towards this actress was solidified. She is one of the best young actresses in the world today, and I'm so glad that she was in a movie like this. Ed Sheeran was probably the biggest surprise in this movie because when I saw that he was in the trailers, I was really excited to see what they were going to do with him, but I never would have anticipated him to be such a beautiful and major part of this story. He made me laugh. Just like everybody loves him for the singer-songwriter that he is, as an actor, you're gonna love him. And Kate McKinnon, forget it. No matter what she's doing, no matter what movie she is in, you're going to get belly laughs from this woman no matter what. And I loved how she was playing the role of the big music executive because she really was the antagonist of the film towards Himesh Patel's character Jack Malik, and he basically is fighting with himself to figure out what kind of life he really wants to lead and what kind of legacy he wants to leave behind for himself and for the sake of making sure that the Beatles music exists. There's also a lot of big unexpected surprises in this movie, and I really think that Beatles fans are going to appreciate this. There were even a couple of interesting plot twists that I didn't even see coming, and I loved the fact that they actually happened. if you are a Beatles fan, there's going to be a lot of Beatles lore woven into this movie that you are definitely going to love and appreciate. And there's also a running gag, and running gags can either work or they can fizzle out really quickly. The one that you see in this movie works so well, and it just adds so much more to the charm of this movie. If there's anything negative that I could say about this movie is the fact that the second act of this film just drags a little bit. The first part of the movie, right out the gates, great. Good pace, lots of fun. The ending, wonderful. The emotions hit, full of wonderful love and charm. You will love that as well. But the middle, while the story is moving, it's just not moving as well as the other two parts of this film. And you're enjoying yourself, but you're saying to yourself, why is this taking so long to continue? They really harp on a whole bunch of things they just stretch out, probably just for the sake of making this movie close to 2 hours, because it does really feel like you're there for a very, very long period of time, even though this movie is not so long. So because of the fact that they really try to stretch out this second act, as well as trying to incorporate the love story that's in this movie, while it is good, I still feel that they tried to do a little too much work on it to maybe lose a little bit of the flair that yesterday has already given us. But I will say, this is without a doubt the most feel-good movie that you will see in 2019. I am so glad that it got the marketing that it received, because it is in a great deal of theaters right now for a really small budget film. I highly recommend you see this movie. Even if you are not the biggest Beatles fan, I really feel that this will open up your mind to their music, and you will definitely appreciate the Beatles when you leave this theater. And if you are a big Beatles fan, you will just love the Beatles evermore. I am definitely interested in seeing this movie again, and I would love to have this movie on DVD. I really don't expect this movie to get any praise at the Oscars, but what I am expecting it to receive is a massive cult following. It is one of the better comedies that I have seen in the last couple of years, and you know how hard it is for me to find a good comedy. So I am going to give Yesterday a 3.5 stars out of 4. So thank you very much for watching, everybody. Please leave your comments in the box below, and let's discuss Yesterday. And I will see you in the next one. Hey, thank you so much for stopping by my channel today. If you're new here and want to see more of what my channel has to offer, please click on the link to my last video, or hit that subscribe button to be kept up to date with all of my uploads. Content of all sorts is posted here quite often, so trust me, you do not want to fall behind. I will see you in the comments, and actions speak louder than words.